Hello and welcome to the Mad Leprechaun. My name is Mert Walsh. Today is a very historic day. Back in 2021, Harley Davidson were the first company to say that I could put cameras on a bike and do a bike review. Fast forward to present day, and yet again Harley Davidson have come up trumps and said I can have one of their bikes and do a long-term review. So you're going to see a fair bit of this bike over the next week. I've got it for a week. It's a Harley Davidson Fat Boy. Oof, don't mind if I do. If that's something that interests you, please do stick around and stay tuned. I'd laugh to the intro. Homeward bound, back to Essex. So I picked the bike up this morning from Gloucester. I had to ride my own bike to Gloucester and then ride this bike back. So 150 miles there and 150 miles home on the Fat Boy. It's taking a little bit of getting used to, if I'm honest. It's got quite a wide front tyre and a 240 section rear tyre. So the way the combination of the two tyres feel the road is a little bit strange at first. In certain corners feels beautiful, it just glides through some corners, and then some other corners it just doesn't feel, well, very nice. It could have an awful lot to do with the fact I've never ridden a Fat Boy before. I'm just not gelling with it at the moment. So I just had a coffee break, took a few photographs. I was going to go to Jeremy Clarkson's farmer's dog, and it was rammed, absolutely ram-packed. So there was a bit of a no-go. Just feels like it wants to kind of understeer. You have to put in a fair bit of input to get it to go where you want it to go. Having said that, there is more ground clearance on this than the Breakout I borrowed the other week. Same engine, the 117 cubic inch custom Harley Davidson engine. It's an absolute peach of an engine, it really is. 3 riding modes: street, sports and rain. And that literally affects the throttle response and nothing else. The suspension is unadjustable up front and it's preload adjustable on the rear. Seating position compared to the Breakout I think is nicer. It's definitely a little bit more roomy for someone of my stature. What I've found with the Breakout, which is the same engine, and this one, is I keep on gearing down when I really don't need to. There's such a torquey lump. If you don't know what torque is, ride a Harley. My God, you don't have to gear down as many times. You would expect it, because it's such a big engine, you would expect it to start giving lots of grief if you didn't kind of drop down through the gears. It doesn't. It really doesn't. And it kind of gets up and goes when you open the tap as well. And I am in road. I'm told, I haven't tried it in sports just yet. See how I feel once I kind of get more accustomed to the bike. And yeah, I'll start playing around with a few settings as the week progresses. So there's no footrest as such on this bike. It's got runner boards, which is it's new to me. I do find, and I might play with the suspension preload, as you can probably hear in my voice, I think it's the preload is too stiff, basically. Every single little bump that it hits on the road is jarring me. Front end seems fine, but yeah, the rear end just feels too stiff. So the preload adjustment is underneath the saddle. And maybe it's because I'm only just getting used to it, but certainly when the road is cambered that way, when I'm riding along, the bike feels like it wants to slide off the road to the left, or you have to force it to the right the whole time. And I think it's got something to do with the big fat tires. So I've been riding in the middle of the road or slightly further over to the right, and that feels fine. Yet again, it's probably something you will either get used to or just ignore after a while, but that's certainly how it feels. And keeping in mind, I haven't ridden one of these before. This is my first impressions review. It's how I feel, my first impressions. People seem to dwell on the negatives that I say about bikes instead of listening to all the positives, because I do say nice positive things about them too. The brakes work exceptionally well, which years ago people would say, oh yeah, brakes on a Harley, useless, need an appointment to stop. There is only one disc up the front and one disc at the back. But if you just get onto the front one before the rear, it'll stop you. It's a bit spongy on the front end, on the forks, as you hammer on the brakes. But other than that, it's alright. Throttle response in town, in traffic, is really, really nice. And the gearbox is really good too. I'm having no issues at all putting it into or taking it out of gear. Finding neutral is not a bother. See, that was all positive stuff, and probably no one ever, nobody heard what I just said. Yeah, so tomorrow I've been given a free pass to go to Littleport. So I'm going to take the bike up to Littleport in Cambridge, and if you don't know the significance of Harley Davidson and Littleport, Cambridge, then if you stick around and stay tuned and watch the next video, then you will. So if you've never watched any of my YouTube stuff before, welcome to the channel. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Subscription is free, even though it sounds like it's going to cost you money. It is actually free. I try to make stuff for motorcyclists that's entertaining. But as my friend and fellow YouTuber Bruce Smart will tell you, you want to try and bring people to your YouTube channel through bike reviews. But as I am a naturally curious person, I wonder what that feels like to ride. I wonder what that feels like to ride. It's, a given that I will do bike reviews. But I also like doing other stuff other than bike reviews. And that's why I'm going to bring this bike to Littleport tomorrow. Because hopefully it'll be entertaining. You get used to the indicators on this bike. So there's the indicator switch is here on my left hand, and the indicator switch is down here on my right hand. So you press left to go left, right to go right. They are self-cancelling, and if you do decide that you want to cancel them if they haven't switched themselves off, so like changing lane like this, chances are it won't switch itself off. You just press it again, job done. Now when I rode the Breakout the other week, I said that I felt the engine had an amount of character, and I say the same thing about the Fat Boy. a lot of people complain that motorcycles are too sanitized, too clinical. You can't feel the engine, you can't feel what the motor is doing, what the bike is doing. On the flip side of that, you'll also hear people complain, "Oh, my arse has gone numb, my hands have gone numb, vibration," and that makes manufacturers sanitize them. So be careful what you wish for. However, my point is, I think Harley have got the balance of vibration and sanitization just right. You can definitely feel that 1900 plus cc engine vibrate under your bottom, and as you accelerate, woohoo, it's lovely. I'm picking up a good vibration. Ah, yes. Getting accustomed to it. I am definitely getting kind of acclimatized to where I am. The air when you're cruising along at motorway speeds basically hits you right here, kind of as you'd expect really. And yes, I have completely the wrong helmet on, I know, but I don't have any issues in the helmet department at all, so I don't know how they've done that. But you would expect my head to be kind of ripped off of my shoulders, but it's not. So the air is obviously kind of going the right way over my head, and yeah, no bother. But the air is hitting me here, but not kind of like I'm becoming a flag. It's lovely kind of swooping in and out of lanes on the motorway. It feels beautifully stable in a straight line, and changing direction, changing lane on a motorway, so relaxed, is lovely. The engine is just a joy. It really is an absolute joy. I just need to sort out the rear suspension. It's spoiling the ride for me at the moment. Keeping in mind, however, as a caveat, as it were, I did ride my own bike 150 miles to Gloucester, and clearly I'm riding the Fat Boy 150 miles home. So it's not ideal situation, but you know, you pays your money, you takes your choice.
So there it is, in all its glory, the Harley Davidson Fat Boy 117 cubic inch, 1923 cc. Right, let's talk about the engine. Harley Davidson offer three main 117 cubic inch Milwaukee 8 engine in three different variants for 2025 models: classic, custom and high output. The custom engine focuses on thrilling acceleration found in models like Breakout and this bike, the Fat Boy. The classic engine provides smooth, consistent performance with flat torque curves as seen in the Heritage Classic and the Street Bob. The high output engine is tuned for peak performance in the upper rev range, powering bikes like the Lowrider S and the ST. But this is the Fat Boy, and it comes in various different colours. If I'm honest, if I was to buy one, I would have it in this colour. It's my fave. Anyway, enough about me. The bike comes in brilliant grey, vivid black, which is plus £550, blue burst, that's also plus £550 on top of the asking price, and this colour, which is vivid black and whiskey fire red. Oh, it looks like burnt orange, if I'm honest, but in certain lights it really does look red. And I'm guessing if you're burning whiskey, it's going to be kind of like a burnt orange colour. Anyway, The engine is a Milwaukee 8, like I said earlier, 117 cubic inch, 1923 cc, 90 degree V-twin engine. The output of the engine is 103 brake horsepower, 77 kilowatts at 5,020 RPM. 168 Newton meters of peak torque at 3,000 RPM. A key feature of the Fat Boy's design for 2025 is the 2x2 exhaust. It has been updated for a higher flowing performance and a rich V-twin sound. So the clock on the bike sits at the front of the fuel tank, which is kind of traditional for the Fat Boy. When you switch on the bike is keyless. The clock comes alive. You can see all of the various different idiot lights. It's 127 millimeters, 5-inch analog speedo with digital gear. So you can see the gears. It's got time, fuel gauge, riding modes, and it's got 3 heated grips, traction control, ABS, the temperature, cruise control, clock, trip, range, and tacho indicator. So you can see the revs all in the little LCD down the bottom here. Another one of the new features for 2025 is the updated hand controls, accommodating cruise control and newly integrated tech features including riding modes and traction control. So cruise control button here switches on, that sets it, and you can go increase the speed, decrease the speed. Unfortunately I'm standing in my own shadow, so hopefully you can see that. This button here runs through the features on the bottom of the LCD. So you press this one here and it goes through the various different settings on your LCD. Hopefully you can see that. I'm struggling with the low light autumnal sun. Over on the other side we have hazard warning lights, traction control, indicator, riding modes, which there's 3: sports, rain and street. The indicator, and that switches the bike off. Switch the bike on, and then it's just a simple touch and the bike fires into life. Down on the left hand side of the fuel tank, tucked away up here, is a USB fast charge, so you can put your navigation, your sound system, or whatever you fancy, you can charge off of your USB-C at the front of the fuel tank. Right, the lights on the front, the outside of the light has a DLR, daytime running light, around the outside, and high beam, low beam, and flash. Get out of my way! All LED, including the indicators. The lights at the rear, unlike some bikes that have a traditional center light, tail light, the tail light is in the indicators, so is the brake light, and obviously so are the indicators. So if we turn the indicators to hazard warning light and apply the brake, I am going to run this bike in the dark in a little while and see what the lights are like in the dark.
Right, I've brought you down this tiny little country road to try and find out just how good or bad the headlight is. We're on low beam at the moment and kind of seeing where I'm going around corners or approaching corners. Not too bad. Right, headlight. We're on main beam now. and that's significantly better. Of course, most headlights now have a flat beam across, so when you put it on low beam, there's no beam kicking up to the left. It's just a flat beam all the way across. It's so that you don't have to put tape on your headlight when you go to mainland Europe and drive on when you're on the wrong side of the road. But I would say, for a motorcycle that has one headlight, no auxiliary lights, you know, just a single headlight, I would say that those lights are definitely acceptable.
The front forks have dual bending valves and the diameter is 49mm. They're telescopic with aluminium triple trees and dual rated springs and beer can covers. My wife went, "What do you mean beer can covers?" So these look like beer cans and they're called beer can covers. And I love the way it finishes off the front. It really does look smart. The rear shock is hidden, but it is there nevertheless. It runs from about here back at quite a sharp, steep angle to the top of the swinging arm just here. Believe it or not, that exhaust is really hot. And the preload, it can only be set for preload, and the preload is underneath the saddle. You need to undo a screw here, remove that, remove the seat, and then there is a spanner, a special spanner that you get, and you can adjust the preload. More about the preload in a little while. The front brake disc, because there is only one, is quite powerful actually. It makes the front end dive under braking, and it's not just all fork dive. The front end does brake quite significantly, and it has a 4-pistoned caliper marked up as a Harley-Davidson unit. Round the back, we have a significantly large disc and a 2-piston caliper hidden down behind the exhaust. Both front and back discs are floating. The tyres front and back are by Michelin Schooner 11. The wheel size is 18 front and back. The rear tyre size is 240 40 R18, and up front is a 160 60 R18. The weight of the bike in running order, I guess that's equal to the curb weight. It's 315 kilograms. The on-the-road price is £22,795, but please check with your Harley dealership as to what sort of deals they may or may not be doing. It may cost more, I don't know, but that's the price I got from Harley Davidson. So the key features on this bike, just to recap, it's got USB-C charging, the hand controls, which now have 3 different riding modes, plus cruise control, the iconic Fat Boy wheels, 18-inch front and back, the chrome headlight surround, which just looks right, doesn't it? I think that looks awesome. And the 2-into-2 exhaust system, which looks lovely, but I think it's too quiet. And there you have it. Yeah, right. I'm going to ride it a little bit more, and in the next video I shall give you my final thoughts as to what I think and how I've got on with the Harley Davidson Fat Boy. If you have liked this video, please leave a thumbs up. If you haven't liked this video for any particular reason whatsoever, please feel free to leave a thumbs down. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ding dong the notification bell if you'd be so kind. And then hopefully, all being well, I shall see you in another one. Until next time, people, take care of yourself. Bye-bye.